Okay, for purposes of this video, which is just a tutorial, it is not a betting video, you don't even see the wheel. For the purposes of this video, every time the ball goes counterclockwise and lands, it will land on 0. That way, it'll be easier for you to see what I'm doing. We know that's not going to happen, but we're going to do that. Now you can see I've put in the 0 and the 32. If you have a copy of the wheel before you, and if you don't, I attached one so you can look at it. You look at the wheel and you say, okay, on a counterclockwise spin, it landed on 0. Then he picked it up and he spun the, now we're talking about the ball spinning. I don't care about the wheel. It could be sitting still for all I care. He picked up the ball from the 0 pocket after it had landed there going counterclockwise. He spun the ball counterclockwise, it landed on 0. Now he picks it up and he spins it clockwise. It lands on 32. Looking at the chart and looking at your wheel, you will see that the ball went one space, one pocket further than the 0. So we can say the ball went in a circle X number of times, and we don't know. It might have went around 3 times. It might have run around 23 times. We don't know. We'll never know. Unless you use that computer, and they will take you out and break your legs in America for doing it. So we don't want to do that. So what to do is you put in another 0, and then we put in the number 15. And you will see that it says he went 2 pockets further. He picked it up from the 0 again and threw it, and he went 2 pockets further. Now, let's put in the 17. First let's put in the 0. Let's put in the 17, and you will see that it went 8 pockets further. I go to the 6, we'll put in the 0 and the 6, and we go 10 pockets. Now, what I look at is the last 2 or 3 numbers and say, did he throw that ball and it landed within 10 pockets of where it landed the last time? And you will see, if you were to be using this, I've seen it many times, that a dealer will start throwing and it'll either be clockwise or counterclockwise. It won't make any difference, but he'll start throwing that ball and it will just hit within a few pockets every time. And to me, that's a very good bet. So, now, that's the way I do that. But now let's suppose he picked it up from the 0 and he threw it and it landed on the 26. Now, he didn't go the full distance. He went 36. He did not make it. If he'd have made it back to 0, let's see what he would have done. If he'd have made it back to 0, it would have been 37. That's the way the thing is set up. But he went to 26, and that is 36 pockets. Now, if you look at your facsimile, or whatever you want to call it, your copy of the wheel. Now imagine the ball is going clockwise, and it landed over here on the 17. Now count backward to the 26, and you'll see that's about 11 spins. In other words, it went about 11 spins less than it did the last time. Well, I don't much like 11. I'd rather it be around 10. So let's put in another 0 and say that it went to 35. Okay, now we're back to where they're very close, and they're close on the left side of the 0, not on the right side. So let's get back on to the right side. Let's put in the 15. Okay, now let's put in another 0, and let's put in the 3, which is on the opposite side. Now look at this. Your 3, when your 3 came in right here, that was 35 spins. 35 pockets less. He didn't go further, he went less. So you look at this one, he landed on the 15. Now if you look at your 15 and your 26, or your 3 rather, you look at your 15 and your 3, you will see they are very close together. Now imagine that you just saw the ball spin and it landed on the 15. Then you saw the ball spin again and it landed on the 3. Okay, you could say, well, he spun the ball, and then the next time he spun the ball, he spun it just a little bit less. He didn't go further, he went just a little bit less. So you can say, okay, the next time he spins, we're going to put in the 0. This is our counterclockwise, and we say, okay, he went how many less? He went 1, 2, 3. He went 4 spins less than he did the time before. So you can say, well, I think he's going to go 4 spins less again. So you count from the 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, and that's the 7. Now that would be what you put in on the clicker. You'd put in the 7, and you'd say, I think he's going to go less. He's going to do approximately the same thing. He's not going to throw more, he's going to throw less. Now, if he hits anywhere around the 7, what I'm saying is if he hits directly on the 7, or he hits 9 spins to the right of the 7 or 9 spins to the left of the 7, you will win, because I have 19 numbers in my tracker. I could set it for 17, 15, 13. It's always going to be an odd number, because you're always going to have the number and an equal amount on either side. So if you had like the number and 5 on one side and 5 on the other side, that would be 11. 5 and 5 is 10, and the one in the middle is 11. So it's always going to be an odd number. Now, that's basically all I do, is try to, and you have to get to where you can look at that wheel really quickly and see, you know, did he go further? Did he, you know, even though the 35 and the 2 are nothing, like 34 and 36, they're right there together. 10 and 8 is right there together. 35 and 2 are nowhere together. Now, what I am thinking, and I don't know this to be a fact because I haven't studied this enough, but usually when these numbers have a great disparity, like between 2 and 35, if you add those two numbers and they add up to a sum of between 27 and 37, then that means your ball landed within 10 pockets. So you're back to that 10 I was talking about. Don't hold me to that, because I am not 100% certain. I'm still in the learning process of this whole contraption. So, and there's quite a bit to learn, really. But basically, that is the whole 9 yards as far as the way I use it. And now I'm going to log off and bring up the Dublin wheel, and we will see what it does with some real numbers.